I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Who would have thought that a movie with as much depth as an elaborate game of hide and seek could have so much mileage in it?
I told you I would find you.
Finally, the questions have been answered. Who hasn't wondered how Liam Neeson became Liam Neeson? The pilot episode of Taken, the origin story, sees Brian Mills recovering from a personal tragedy while being hunted by some hired gunmen. He is already a professional badass with an act for finding and murdering some folks. So this is less of the origin story we've all been waiting for, and more of a snapshot at a part of his past life. But let's be honest, who gives a shit about the plot when it comes to Taken? The original movie, the only good thing so far related to this franchise, was all about over-top action and mayhem. The plot was an afterthought, as were the characters themselves. So how does the TV show stack up? Well, it's a bit talky, especially compared to the movies. Not quite in the right way though. It's still a very fast-paced story. Barely give us a second before Miles is already on the run. Not going to spoilers, but a lot of time in the first episode is given to these FBI agents that are tracking the hired gunman and Miles himself. It's very Bourne-ish if you ask me. More Bourne Legacy, but in that ballpark. You have a lot of the first episodes watching these FBI agents standing by waiting for something to happen. It's not very interesting. And it's a shame because they could have spent that time to develop the relationship between Miles and his inciting incident. To make us actually, care for the characters. Let's be honest, there isn't a lot of nostalgia when it comes to the Taken franchise or the original movie. A lot of people like it, I like it as well. But you're not going to get all that much brownie points by just dropping the name Brian Mills and calling it Taken. I mean, does anyone even remember the name of the character other than Liam Neeson? It was always Liam Neeson to me. So considering this is a TV show, that means they can take a bit of a breath. They can develop these characters, give us something to actually care about. The first Taken movie actually has a pretty slow start, to give us something kind of to latch onto, to see him as human before a badass action hero. When the action happens, it's average, so light years better than Taken 3. The acting, it's mediocre, so fits right in with the rest of the franchise. Clive Standen, he's perfectly serviceable as a poor man's version of Liam Neeson. He's as cold and calculating and monotone as you would expect. But before I go into the conclusions, I want to point out a particular scene which honestly I was almost proud to watch. Exposition sometimes can be hard to get into a script, especially when the characters know it already but the audience doesn't and they need to know it. So we can end up with a lot of lazy scenes where these two people are just talking about something they already know just because the audience needs to hear it as well. Well, I have to say, the pilot episode, Taken, it completely owned that shit.
This is Mill's life we're playing with. Knowing what we now know from the surviving gunman,
Which is?
I already covered that.
One more time, just for me.
See, that was just beautiful, so lazy, so half-assed that it was almost admirable. Just cut the bullshit. So is Taken worthy of your investment, of your time? Well, so far it will depend how ambitious the plot is willing to be. There are elements here that could be interesting, a larger conspiracies, not just, well, you've kidnapped my daughter, now I'm gonna kick your ass. No, there could be more here. Like I said, it feels almost Bourne inspired, which could be a good or a bad thing. I mean, honestly, all I can say is I didn't hate the 40 minutes I spent with the pilot episode, which already makes it better than two-thirds of the franchise.
I will find you. And I will kill you.